What's up, witches? This is the Hermit, and this week we are talking about the death card. So, here's my death card from the tarot coloring book, and actually, I'm realizing more and more that I don't usually pay attention to small details when I read the cards, and now with coloring the cards, it helps me a lot to see small details that I wasn't able to see before or I didn't pay attention to. So basically, if you look here, what I realized there's actually a small cross at the bottom. So I never saw that cross before, and it just made me realize when I was coloring that there was a cross which could represent like a grave for somebody who's Christian, right? And now if we go to the ultimate guide to the Rider-Waite Tarot, and if we talk about some symbols, so there's the white horse. The color white stands for completion and a new beginning. Behind where you see the sun rising or going down, we don't know. This book suggests that it's the gate to heaven that opens. And in front of the sun, you see the city. This book suggests that it's the eternal city, an image from the New Testament. The eternal city or eternal Jerusalem is the paradise which shall return on the day of judgment. Now, the key words from this book: something comes to an end, let go in order to bring the harvest, make space for a new sunrise. And if we go to the tarot coloring book, some of the keywords are transformation or dramatic change. And we have to ask ourselves, what is coming to an end? So, if we look at the 78 Degrees of Wisdom by Rachel Pollack, some stuff that I highlighted and that I liked is that death strikes everyone, kings and commoners alike. In death, rich become leveled with the poor. So it doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, it doesn't matter what you have. If you die, you die, right? What else is interesting? So, if we look at the card, at the bottom of the card, there's 4 people, right? There's the king who's laying down and who was crushed by death. And this would represent that the ego is sort of crushed by death that's coming. Then you see the priest in front of the horse and of facing directly the skeleton. And Rachel Pollack talks about the priest, and the priest has all his clothes which represent the code, the moral code, or the code of beliefs that helps us to not be afraid of death. So if you believe in something, you're kind of less afraid to die. Then the maiden represents partial innocence. She's facing away from the card, from death. And you have the child that holds a flower that's not afraid of change, and he or she is offering it to the skeleton. Alright, if we continue, so there's also a little boat in the card behind in the water. The boat could remind us of the ancient Egypt with the burial boats that symbolize the true self carried through death to a new life. If we talk about some of the meanings of the card, upright, it could indicate clearing away old habits. It could also indicate some fear of change or fear of physical death. Then, if we go to the reverse meaning, it could indicate being stuck in the old habits, inertia, sleep, desperate battle of ego to avoid change. And if we go to the tarot coloring book, some of the reversed meanings are fear of change, resistance, and stubborn unwillingness to embrace change. Alright, so that was the Death card. Next week, we are going to talk about the Temperance card. Alright, see you all next week.